Let me ask you something. Is there an object in your home right now that you haven't used in years, but still can't bring yourself to get rid of it? Maybe it's clothes that don't fit the life you're living anymore. Maybe it's books you swear you'll read someday. Maybe it's cables, notebooks, old projects, half-finished ideas. You walk past them every day. You know they're there, and yet they stay. And when you try to declutter, something strange happens. It's not physical tiredness that stops you. It's emotional, a heaviness, a hesitation, a quiet voice that says, what if I need this? Or worse, what if letting this go means letting go of a part of me? Here's the misconception most people are given, that clutter means laziness, or lack of discipline, or poor organization. But today, I want to offer you a different perspective, because holding on to things you don't use is rarely about the things. It's about how your mind works, how it relates to identity, safety, memory, and possibility. And once you understand that, decluttering stops feeling like self-punishment and starts feeling like self-respect. Let's start with the reframe. You don't hold on to unused things because you're disorganized. You hold on to them because your brain is protective. Your mind evolved to keep you safe, not tidy. For most of human history, scarcity was the threat. If you lost something, you couldn't replace it with one click. So the brain learned a simple rule. Better keep it, just in case. That rule was never updated. So when you look at an object, your brain doesn't see clutter. It sees insurance. Insurance against future regret, future need, future versions of yourself you haven't met yet. And if you're emotionally sensitive, imaginative, or mentally overstimulated, this effect is amplified because your mind doesn't just see what the object is, it sees what it represents. Mechanism 1. Objects as identity containers. Here's the first key mechanism. Many of the things you keep are not tools, they are identity containers. That jacket you never wear, it's not fabric. It's the version of you who thought, I might become this person. That book you never read? It's not paper. It's potential intelligence, curiosity, aspiration. That old hobby equipment? It's proof that once you were interested, alive, exploring. Your brain treats these objects like receipts of who you are or who you might still become. So when someone says, just throw it away, your nervous system hears, delete this version of yourself. No wonder you resist. Letting go doesn't feel neutral. It feels like narrowing your future. Mechanism 2. The brain hates closing doors. Now let's talk about possibilities. Psychologically, unused items represent open loops. An open loop says, I could still do this. I haven't failed yet. This chapter isn't closed. Your brain likes open loops because they preserve hope. But here's the paradox. Open loops also consume mental energy. Every unused item whispers, decide me, remember me, revisit me. Individually, that's nothing. Collectively, it's exhausting. Your home becomes a museum of unfinished decisions, and your mind never fully rests. Mechanism 3. Loss aversion. Why letting go hurts more than keeping. There's a well-documented psychological bias called loss aversion. It means we feel the pain of losing something about twice as strongly as the pleasure of gaining something of equal value. So even if an item gives you zero daily benefit, the thought of losing it feels intense. Your brain asks, what if this was useful later? What if I regret this? It overestimates future regret and underestimates present relief. That's why decluttering feels emotionally heavier than it logically should. You're not weak. You're human. Mechanism 4. Clutter as emotional anchoring. For many people, clutter also serves a quiet emotional role. It anchors memory. Objects become placeholders for relationships, past versions of self, times when life felt different. If you're someone who feels deeply, objects can feel like emotional bookmarks, and letting go can stir grief you didn't expect. Not because you miss the item, but because you miss who you were when it mattered. This is especially true if you've gone through transitions, career changes, burnout, loss, identity shifts. Your home might still be holding space for versions of you that no longer live there. Pause. A moment of self-compassion. So let's pause for a moment. If you've ever thought, why am I like this? Here's a gentler question. What was my mind trying to protect? Because clutter is rarely random. It's a record of adaptation. Decluttering isn't about owning less. It's about deciding who gets your attention. Let's bring this together. You don't need to declutter your entire life. You don't need to become a minimalist. You don't need to be ruthless. You just need to understand that your home is a mirror of your inner world, and clarity inside often begins with kindness outside. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're just learning how to let your space support the life you're actually living.